it's of course going to be the warmest day of the week, and of course there's been a couple of hot sunny days in my home city of Gloucester, including yesterday when I wasn't doing any bus stuff. I was doing a couple of train stuff. So with that said, of course, it's time to continue on with the video. So we get on with the video. So we got a Yutong E12 73206. Of course, today, of course, you want to see buses, both buses and trains. Of course, that stuff was actually a little bit troublesome on number 10s this morning. Of course, we've got Alexander Desval 249 751, Alexander Desval 203 7323 on the route 12. Another Alexander Desval 300 over here. Number 2708. And then here is Alexander Desval 309 240 246. On the move with the route 8. So yeah, quite busy down there. So what happened was there was 3 buses. That there was basically a triple header. So basically 3 buses on my bus route, and I happened to be on the one that was more or less at the front, but was at the back when it came down. When it came down to the Gloucester Current Street. So there's 22751 now leaving. So with that said, we're best outside Transport Hub on this sunny morning. That is another one of those cloudless days where it's all blue sky, and of course at the moment the wind seems to be a tiny little bit chilly of late, but it will get warm later of late. So, but beforehand 2778 and 15354 are leaving. So we'll watch these buses go before we actually make a move. So 2708 and 15354 Rupert Williams. Well, former Rupert Williams. So here we go. Let's see what the buses in the Transport Hub. Let's go have a look. So at the moment we got only a couple of buses in here. So we got 15878 Alexander Desval 400 Boys Scallion 230 UD. We have a similar one, 15966, which of course was on the number 10 routes that was right in front of 15354. It's now on services to Ross on Y. So also 15877 here. So also 15350. Alexander Desval from Scania 250 UD. And of course we've got Alexander Desval from MMC's 10755 and 10758, which is now departing. But before I move on, there is actually a bus that's going to be going into this spot, which of course is not an Alexander Desval 400 MMC, it's an EV, Alexander Desval 400 EV. Here it comes. It's 8230, and by the way, all 4 of the Envar 400 EVs are actually at work today, according to bustimes.org, which is my tool of use to identify the buses at work. But yeah. So we have a green light. Green light. So we'll wait once again. Looks like the button's already been pressed. So red light. Green light. Shuffle. 10758 is now leaving, heading off to Cheltenham on one of those services, and of course it's now more or less we've got 6 stagecoach buses now in the transport hub. So it's now time to head on into the railway station. So it's good because, of course, me being a little bit more earlier, it's good. I think it's going to be interesting what trains we'll be seeing. But the thing is, I think we'll only probably be seeing that one extra train, which I believe is supposed to be a cross-country service to Cardiff Central. As long as there are no cancellations, but we will see once we interact with this board. Walking. There. Oh dear. The 9:27 to Cardiff Central, approximately 27:30, 15 minutes late. And then, of course, the next one would be the 9:35 to Worcester Foregate Street, then 9:40 to Bristol, and 9:49 to Nottingham. Which, that is, I don't know if that's a bit later in conjunction with the other one. Just see if these far buses in distance. Then we got to take our position because the Worcester Foregate Street one will arrive any minute. And we've got to get into position. And yeah, I can see the train already. The 9:35 service to Worcester Foregate Street is now traversing and ready to ride to the station. Of course, have a little bit of sunblower, obviously. Hello to Joe and Clean 3966. That has arrived. Brakes, flange, squeal. There we go, it's now coming in. But it's coming in at quite a slow speed though than usual. So this one is 800 002 on the service to Worcester Foregate Street from Bristol Temple Meads. So it looks like they've did a change to the where the trains are going to be departing from the looks of it, because it says that that the no, we haven't changed it. It's just that the 9:40 will come before the service to Cardiff Central. It's supposed to be at 9:27. Oh no, that's 9. Yeah. So the train will be able to go into platform 2. There's a fault. There is some kind of fault on the train and it's caused it to be late. Oh, hello little fly. Oh. Bounce off my face. So don't worry about flies, it's the stinging insects I have to worry about. So in a couple of minutes I'll start calling out the service to Bristol Tempermeads, which is BA 2 coach, class 158. Same as usual. Of course it is run on time, so everything should be fine. Here we go. So is there? It's going to be hard to see it through. Well, it's not going to be hard to see it through the hazes, but there's nothing there yet. It's 3 more minutes until the Worcester Foregate Street service departs. Lifts at Bristol Parkway still being worked on. Blimey hell. Still our use. Tut tut. It should be sorted out by now. There's the train. Everybody put your hands together for 158, 765. God blimey, it's quite busy on that platform too. Now will probably be the wish they had even more coaches available until they get to the class 175s into active service, and I don't know if they'll get those class 158s to from Transport for Wales to bolster its fleet in the medium term, and then of course the long-term goal for it to be a battery or battery electric multiple unit. Yeah, interesting. Hello to Duddle's back, who has arrived. Yes, it is a class 158 that arrived. So 800 002, class 800 now departing. Heading north to Worcester. No, I say 158, not 158. I have my ways of saying it. You have your ways of saying it. I'm not going to say 158. I'm actually going to say what it's actually called, which is the class 158. But still, your opinion matters. I understand how you say it. Anyways, hello to Paul Jacob 7240 that's just joined. So yeah, the class 158 is the only train. Of course, it's got 4 minutes until its departure. It's one of the Envara 400 Tridents on. Hello to Zara Ankret DQ5JN. It's another one of those security messages, or well, not security messages, but one of those messages that's saying for your own safety to stand behind the yellow line. I don't have any questions at all. Doodles back, because everything is actually going, I think, smoothly with the railways in around Gloucester. And to Zara Ankret, I'm just doing, of course, my usual bus and train spotting before going off doing stuff that I volunteering work stuff that I do. Indeed. So this is where I wait. Ooh. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting when how they're going to work around the extremely late cross-country service to Cardiff Central. Oh yeah, that other one, the Transport for Wales one, is delayed by approximately 1 minute, which is due to the late train following that one. Oh yeah, yeah. I've got a model railway train, train layout, because as I said, with my passion for railways, of course I own a train layout, and I collect a lot of trains. So you may as well want to subscribe to my channel, Zara, because I've got a lot of trains on my model railway. So that is a strong... Oh yeah, that is a powerful two-tone horn from the train, and a powerful departure of the end with the revving of the train. So that is probably one of the best departures of a class 158 that I've had in the history of my X-Files from from Gloucester station. So yeah, the next one that's due is of course the late running cross-country service to Cardiff Central, and it'll be running adjacent with the service to Nottingham, which of course it's going to be interesting how to get this, because there'll be the service to Cardiff Central, Nottingham, coming from that direction, then the late running service to Cardiff Central coming the other way. Is still running as normal, so it's not taking out any stations in between. And thank you to Zara and Chris. Of course, you may want to also, as well as check out those train stuff, there is of course some live streams with the model trains that I'm doing as well. You'll probably really like the train tracks, because of course it has a lot of containers on it, because I've got a humongous container port terminal kind of railhead, which is right next to of course additional train station platforms as well. Head to IQOOXTGXARJUN that's arrived. Yes, of course I'm from Gloucester, of course, as you can see, and I've missed of course the cross-country service to Nottingham arriving, but it will be seen departing. So yeah, I am from Gloucester, obviously. Seen here, of course the train is running, of course, the expected 9:44, 9:45.
Going to Chelmsford, Parkway, University, Birmingham New Street, Townlow, Kirkland Trent, Barley, Easton.
170, 101 is the service to Cardiff Central, and of course it's coming in at quite high speed, and as you know it's in the new compared to Durham, and of course Durham Clean 3966. Yes, it's great that you subscribe. Thank you very much. And of course, it is very supportive of you because, as I said, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs. And also because you are, I think because you are probably into vacuuming, I do a lot of vacuum videos, so you may as well want to check those out because of course you'll see multiple vacuums from when I used the Vaxair steerable Max to the Dyson DC37 to the Miele Blizzard CX1, which was one of my old vacuum cleaners I had about for 5-6 years, and then of course finally the Miele Boost CX1 Pulse, which is of course my one that I have right now. So it's time to go across here to see the late running 170, 101 departing, which it is now departing from this side. And as you know, it's running at approximately 15 to 16 minutes late. So it'll have to go fast in order to make up some of that time. Also has a horn sound coming from it. So of course, I know that it's not supposed to be on show, but of course got Kia electric British Transport police car. Of course we have 3 buses arriving to the transport hub. Well, 2 arriving to the transport hub, and of course 2 departing, which of course that Alexander S500 MC and the Envar400 Scania right next door to it. There's only 3 minutes until departure and service to Nottingham. Nottingham. But yeah, of course, well, as I said, I watch Tenable, which of course, and of course, one thing is of course naming a city closest to Manchester, and one of the answers said Nottingham, but it was a city, but it said that it was too far away, and yet I thought Nottingham was a little bit closer to Manchester, and I know 40-50 mile radius. But yeah, it's quite surprising. So yeah, the 9:49 is approximately a minute late, so there probably won't be featured, but I will have to say that of course I will be showing it will be coming up later in my afternoon session, so there's no troubles there. There it goes. So it's Nottingham. It's put your hands together for 176, 119. I think it should have been a lot more coaches than just 3. Go on, and still, class 150. There is still a class 150. 150, 245, that one. Of course, it will be featured later on, so don't worry if you don't ever see the party. So that about wraps up the morning session. I will be back for the afternoon session, so of course I'll leave description in my TikTok page at Anaconda Alex. So don't forget to have a look at that. So it will be starting around 12:05, 12:10ish, around there. So with that said, thank you for watching my X-Files, and I'll see you in the afternoon. Slugheads!